Good morning, John Shepherd McKenzie here. It is Wednesday, the 4th of November, and today our text comes from Matthew 15. Then came to Jesus scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, Why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. But he answered and said unto them, Why do ye also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition? For God commanded, saying, Honor thy father and mother, and he that curseth father or mother, let him die the death. But ye say, Whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, It is a gift by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me, and honor not his father and his mother, he shall be free. Thus have ye made the commandment of God of none effect by your tradition. Ye hypocrites, well did Esaias prophesy of you, saying, This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. Well, first I want to unpack a little bit in the middle of this. The issue Jesus is talking about is called Corban, and it was an option for people who wanted to enrich the temple or perhaps impress their associates and their friends and their family. They could give everything that they had, all of their wealth, to the temple, as opposed to using it to take care of their mother or their father. And that's the particular practice that Jesus is attacking here. The earlier practice that the Pharisees are attacking is that of not washing their hands when they eat bread. Now, they had terrible personal hygiene back then. I won't comment on the Middle East of today, but I've heard stories. They had terrible personal hygiene back then. They didn't wash. Washing was a luxury. Maybe if you were rich enough to have slaves go and find clean water and bring it to you, you could wash. Other people just didn't wash. So this was not a personal hygiene issue, nor was it a medical issue. Germ theory came along very late in human history. The idea that if you wash and get your hands clean, you're less likely to ingest germs that might make you sick. That was very late, like the 1800s. And that was not an issue here as well. The issue is there is a commandment from God to wash your hands before you eat bread. And so they are speaking about this commandment and his disciples being technically guilty of not keeping that commandment. And again, water, clean water was hard to find. If you had enough to drink, you were doing well. You can go back and forth with the law and the instructions. What I find interesting in this text is it kind of exposes a modern approach to law, in which case law is merely a way of one group or segment of society imposing restraints, restrictions, and oppressive measures on another. You'll find that in academia, and you'll find that in certain segments of the population who says if there's nobody here to enforce the particular law in question, then I'm not going to keep it. If there's no patrol car sitting there on Interstate 86, then I'm not going to keep it down to 55 mile an hour. I'm going to go 90. If there is no police officer at the end of my street to enforce the stop sign, people roll through it, they blow through it, they creep through it, and they honk their horn thinking they're always first. So it's part of the breakdown of late modernity when everything is run by the law and nobody just does the right thing because it's the right thing. You have to have a whole lot of law enforcement to make society work. And we don't have that yet. And the movement to defund the police means that the communities that need it the most are going to have it the least. But that's not my point. My point is that there's always a tendency to say the laws that I like, I will keep and observe. The laws that I don't like, I will ignore or I will secretly break. The laws that enrich me and enrich my people, I think those are good laws that we have to have in place. The laws that enrich others, even to my impoverishment, well, those are bad laws. Everything becomes a reference to the self, to myself, or to my group. And that way, of course, lies anomie, which is a fancy way of saying lawlessness. The laws that Jesus is talking about are laws that were in place to take care of father and mother as they grew older, as they were no longer able to generate wealth, as they were no longer able to fend for oneself. Those laws he encourages to see as from God and to be kept, but they're not to be confused with human traditions that empower one group against another group. How we sort this out is a day-to-day struggle. How we sort this out is something that is going to need to be done because there is a tendency to put all laws in the category of those that I'll keep if I feel like it. And of course, societally wise, that way lies madness. Have a great day. God bless.